Well, I mean, because I work in the Medicare and retirement industry, most people won't have money when they retire. That's just a fact. Most people don't even have. Most African Americans, well, our average is about families itself is about 50,000 in retirement. That's just a fact. You may get them at 100. That's just average. For Y2, we know it's more. So, but because at the end of the day, but while we're creeping up retirement, creeping up our lives, while we're building each other, we're not factoring that somebody eventually gonna get sick. Okay, this is part of life. Okay, so I see it every single day. Been seeing it for years. Eventually, somebody gonna get sick. So the 401ks and all that stuff you put in there, that stuff gonna do wonder because you got the healthcare sucks. So most people are broke during retirement. All this building, fine, we're still gonna be broke. That's just the end of the day. So I just really had to tell you. I know nobody want to hear because we think we're all going to be rich, but we're not. I'm just saying, it's just a fact. You're building to put it on towards healthcare.
But I don't think Tracy Ellis is single because she's a millionaire.
Oh no, not at all. Not by far.
There's so many other women that are millionaires that are married. Women millionaires married. So
yeah, for sure.
Most definitely other things.
Oh, for sure. I think she passed over the guy when she was younger.
Just like what's that girl?
That's why I wanted to ask all these questions so I can get a psychological profile, but y'all keep stopping me before I.
Well, I said millionaire because the reality is that Tracy Ellis Ross is still looking for somebody on her level or better. She's just looking for him to also be essentially a dude that submits to her.
I would argue that the most people she run into probably 80 to 90% of the time are millionaires. So finding that you can just cancel that out.
But you missed the second part of what I said. The second part is also a millionaire that's willing to submit to her.
I'm saying I would cancel millionaire out, period.
That's gonna work.
I would cancel the money out, period.
Well, the reason why you can't cancel the money out because obviously she can find a dude that makes less to her to submit to her. That's not hard to find. You know, I mean, dudes would be willing to be a Stedman to her Oprah.
She don't want that. No,
exactly.
Most of the men, she don't even. That's what I'm saying. 80 to 90% of the men she run into are not even making less than her.
Right. So
she's not even. She's not. Those guys not even have access. Not even. She's not even looking in that direction. It don't even matter. It's irrelevant.
Well, if she was, but the thing, what you got to understand though, if she
would have to go out of her way to run into guys.
She has the resources to go out her way. She's just not willing to.
That's what I'm saying. She would have to go out of her way to get around guys that are making less than her.
But that's what I'm saying. She has the resources to do that. She's actively choosing not to because you're trying to take her income out of the equation when it's her income that's part of the reason why she acts the way that she acts.
Well, I mean, first of all, she can do
on top of that, she a free spirit. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you the reason why it's not her income because it was never her income. She was just a regular little baddie, just like these young girls out here without the bag. And it didn't. And she had the same.
She's a famous child.
She still had the same issue though. Whenever she didn't have her own bag and she went on her own way to make her own, she still had the opportunity.
She's never not had a bag though.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is she was exposed to the average guy that she wouldn't need to go out of her way to see at this level.
Okay.
She's been exposed to every guy that you can, any archetype that you can think.
Won't go.
And it never happened. So it wasn't even a matter of money. It was a matter of she can't.
No, she's always had a. Okay. She's always had a bag. Her mama was Diana. Right. So what I'm saying is that she never went out her way to go look for a regular dude. They always made less than her.
Look at her mother.
All I'm saying is, from the time she became 18 and graduated high school all the way up until now, she's been in the proximity of every level, every class, or every tax bracket, and she never got it right ever at all. Period.
She's never been in every tax bracket.
Bro, I said she's been exposed to every man in every tax bracket.
What does that have to do with her choices? She's still you're trying to eliminate
her choices because
you're trying to eliminate her money out of the equation when her money has always been there.
I did eliminate it because in high school, in college, she been around people that didn't have the money. What I'm saying is
she always had money.
But that don't matter though. It don't matter.
It does matter.
Dating,
she was always around people with money.
When she was 18, right. 19, 20, she wasn't saying, "Oh no, you broke," or you got.
How do you know that? She ain't even say that now.
Oh no, y'all, because we got.
She was in the Gold Digger video.
She has always been around people with money.
Look at her mother, Donna Ross. Come on now, you really think
she's been around? But she's been around guys who didn't have money as well.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
I'm just saying.
You keep trying to say her money don't matter because she's been around broke dudes.
I call it a lie.
That mean that her money didn't matter.
It's a lie. It's a
lie.
How
is it a lie?
Because I know these type of women, bro. I've been researching. These type of women are just unsuitable to be anybody's wife.
It's okay to admit that you wrong, bro. It ain't got shit to do
with no money, bro.
She was in the Kanye West
Hold on, wait a minute, because that was a extremely outlandish claim that someone is just not fit to be a wife.
Not, bro.
Why? There are so many people in the world. Everyone is fit to be whatever they want to be. Just because they don't fit your mold of a wife.
Take it like this. This is not a fact. This is my opinion on it. I call
Cap. It is.
I don't absolve her from being suitable just because she got an account balance. There's other qualities about this particular woman that a man is not willing to deal with, and it ain't got nothing to do with her money. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know why it's so hard for y'all to understand where Darwin is coming from.
I think so many layers deep, bro. They just
how you thinking 3 layers deep? Like she's a million. She's always been.
It ain't got shit to do with her money. A woman.
What are you basing that on,
bro?
What are you basing that on?
Because she's lying, bro. It don't have the ring of truth, bro. I done been in consultation.
So are you telling me there aren't men that make less than her that wouldn't make her a wife?
Is there men that make less?
Are you telling me there are? Are you telling me there aren't?
No, they won't.
Yes, they would.
Yes, they would.
No, they
if you telling me there ain't nobody in Tracy Ellis Ross inbox right now, you fooling yourself.
Okay, if you're talking about on a level where they trying to exploit her for her money, yeah. But somebody who's genuinely vetting her out.
How do you know that?
Because she doesn't have it.
Because she don't want it.
They probably wouldn't have made her a wife.
Broke $48,000.
She wanted to be a wife, bro. She wanted to be a wife at a point in her life.
She wants to be a wife. She wants to be a wife to a specific dude.
Nothing. It's not a
fact.
Well,
talk to her, but I mean, she's not gonna want to.
I do not believe this woman went through her. How old is this woman? How old is this woman, Dr. Ladio?
She's 50.
She's 52.
I don't believe she went through her entire 52 years and then run into somebody that was willing to date her. And once I believe that she been in multiple situations where she could have had a man that was good for her and she blew it. I don't believe every man wasn't just right from her at the same status and financial status as her. I don't believe it. I just don't buy it. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe it. I'm calling cap. That's all I'm saying.
Why nobody made that claim? All we simply said was my very first statement, because you're arguing against my first statement. I said part of her problem was that she's a millionaire and she's looking for somebody.
First you said
wait. Yes, I did.
You didn't.
How you gonna make back? You can run it back. You gonna have to run it back because I'm not about to run it back for you to make the argument. My whole claim was she's a millionaire and she expects the man that earns on her level to basically be a soy boy for her, to submit to her. That was my whole entire argument. You kept saying it's not about her being a millionaire. I'm like, what argument? Like, that's not an argument.
My opinion is, bro, she done had multiple opportunities to be a wife to somebody, and the motherfuckers did not want her.
I need to understand. I need to understand.
She probably don't run into billionaire.
Why do you think she blew it? Why is it that woman didn't want them because they didn't qualify? Because she's already told y'all, men her age, men are too masculine. Y'all focus on much.
Let me tell you why.
Your views are too rigid, and younger men. I feel like she was saying younger men are more nuanced than y'all. Y'all are too rigid in your beliefs. And that means that she may not have wanted them. She didn't blow anything. They didn't qualify for her. Because everybody doesn't want you just for your money.
All I'm saying is I don't buy it. That's all I'm saying. I do not buy that she went through 53 of her years and every man she ran into didn't qualify for her. First of all, I don't even think that it was a matter. It was a matter of her qualifying for them because they control access to marriage in the first place.
Women have to say yes.
Disqualified herself for many reasons that she had the opportunity and resources from the time she was born to optimize and position herself to be the best wife for the man she wanted to be.
She
was not able to do it, so it was on her.
She's been with profile men though, because she was with her last known relationship, public relationship, was with a music manager named Abu Boo Theon, which ended in 2013. No, she's been with some men. What Darwin is saying is not, he's not off at all. I don't know why it's a hard concept.
Well, because he's arguing.
But I get what he was saying is not all on the men just dogging her. And she's passed over some good men. She probably passed over some brothers.
Yeah, so here's the problem I have with that. For whatever reason, we always try to put a gender on it when we say that men have access to marriage. I don't think so. When women can deny or decline on 3 rings, we saw a lady, Kay Michelle was just talking, she declined on 3 rings. That to me would say that the person with the perceived higher value has a stranglehold on marriage. It's genderless. Whoever has a higher perceived value in that particular relationship is the one who controls access to that. Just like and I would also say that as far as men controlling access to sex, because depending on what type of man you are, if you fit in a higher percentile, then you control access to sex, because women will literally throw themselves at you, right? And although it may be a rare case, it still supports the fact that whoever has the higher perceived value is the one with the control. I think that she fumbled some bags. I think Darvin's right where that's concerned. I think she did fumble some bags. But it's still to the other point, because her qualifications are probably ridiculous. Probably ridiculous.
Marry her too? Is that what's going on?
Say what? Say what?
She's controlling the rights to the relationship of the marriage. Is she asking him to marry her too?
It doesn't matter who asks, right? Because first off, most couples don't even like kneel and just do a surprise. Most, from what I understand, me and my wife talked about it. I didn't just we already kind of knew, like, when you're about to get married to somebody, you start like you might start joking around about it, and then you'd start discussing things. But I not for one second thought, my heart wasn't beating because I thought that my wife was going to say no. We had already talked about it. It was just a matter of time. Sure, the exact moment was a surprise, but the answer was not. A lot of people discuss these things.
That's not what I was asking.
You think
I was about to get to that, but I got cut off. Go ahead.
Fred, you think in 35 years
he still can't get back to it?
She's 53. Let's subtract 18 from that. She's 35 years of her life. Do you think at least once or twice she ran into a man that she actually liked and she wanted to be with out of 35 years?
All right, so check this out. I think that's a hold on. I'm going to answer the question, but do you want just an answer that don't make sense, or do you want me to break it down?
I don't think it'll make sense if you say yeah. I don't think it would not make sense or whatever. If you say yes, she ran into at least one guy out of 35 years.
I'll say this. It's more nuanced than that. I would say that she likely ran into a man that was suitable for marriage, and that I would have recommended that she married, and probably would have had a good life and a good, provide a husband / all that. However, I think she fumbled it. She probably did not, because she didn't want him at the time for probably what we would consider to be a frivolous reason.
I'm saying
I ain't changed shit.
You said she probably didn't want him. I'm saying she actually wanted him. I'm saying
if she actually wanted him, then why would she decline from it?
No, I'm saying, do you actually believe in the 35-year span she ran into a man that she wanted?
Yeah,
it didn't work out.
It's pretty right.
Hard to say. It's possible.
35 years, you're saying it's hard to say that she haven't ran into at least one guy that she liked and wanted.
Hey, lady,
all right. So if she did, then he probably couldn't deal with her at some point, right?
No, but
it's possible. It's possible that she did. But did she have the option of getting married to that particular guy? Probably not. Or else she would have did it.
Okay, so you use
so she don't control access to marriage.
Listen,
she didn't control access to that guy, but there's probably somebody else who would want to marry her. I'm sure there's more.
Keeping the tracks of both. We only keeping the tracks of both people liked each other, and on a scale, on a level to where they wanted to marry, and it didn't work out. These are the only ones we worried about. We're not worried about a nigga that she didn't give shit about. That don't matter. We talking about the ones that the two that came together and actually looked at each other as husband and wife in the future, and it didn't work out. Do you think that happened at one occasion in her life out of 35 years?
Yeah. You gotta say yeah.
It's probable. It's probable. I would say yeah.
What's the point of that?
So Darwin, I would say yeah, probably. But then at the same time, I still think she fumbled it because she found a reason not to like him or not to accept him. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, like this guy I was just mentioning.
How is this not making sense to you, Darwin? Why I think the mistake that we make is we be so trying to get an answer and we pin ourselves to the shit. But a lot of things are nuanced. It's not like everything is cut and dry. If everything was cut and dry, then we wouldn't have these issues we do with relationships right now. There's a lot of nuance involved in the situation.
Darwin's just trying to make the argument that
I said it was probable, and I said it's probably there, but then I said she likely fumbled it because she found a frivolous reason not to like him. Otherwise, she would have married him. Otherwise, she would have married him, right? What's up? My bad.
Unless Darwin, you're suggesting that she was a problematic woman and he left her.
I'm suggesting that she wasn't qualified, or she just wasn't fit. That's what I'm saying.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, she wasn't going to the altar, Sweeney.
But how do you know why she didn't go to the altar?
I don't need to know why.
You gotta know why, because you.
No, I don't. She's not married.
She's
insufferable.
The thing is that you're trying to make the argument that she's obviously didn't go to the altar for X reason. But you have to be able to prove that X reason was the reason why she didn't make it to the altar.
But this is my opinion again. Mm-hmm. If you're a person who have the opportunity to practice to be the best player on the fucking team, you've been working out, you got more resources than all the other kids, you got all the training, you can go to all kind of camps, you got limitless resources to be able to do it. And you want to do it. You actually want to do it. And you never get a chance to play. Whose fault is it? The team not letting you play, or your fault? Something happened in that situation where you didn't get access to get playing time. And it all points back to that. Something that she did. Because if you got everything in your hand, all the power to be able to make it happen, and you don't make it happen, it's something about that woman. And I don't even know. All I need to know is
who has 100%. Who has all the power to make things happen in their life? Who has all the power to do that? Nobody has all the power.
This is figuratively speaking.
So that's the thing, though. You keep eliminating all the
that most women aren't pushed. That most women would have struggle to get in.
Besides, what position did she put in? Besides, she was a millionaire.
She had access to arranged marriages. She had access to be recommended by other. Her mother could have put her in situations as a young girl coming out of college or high school to be positioned with another wealthy family that had outstanding young man. Why are we acting like this? This is
so her, but you're eliminating her personal desires in the situation, which is what me and Trev are trying to. What me and Trev is trying to get you to understand. She can decline men because she doesn't want to do certain things. That's why I said her money and her position.
I counted for that. That's why I said
you didn't. You tried to take it out of the equation.
I told him. I said the guys that she didn't want, they don't matter. She don't want them anyways. Who gives a damn? She don't want them anyways. I'm talking about the men she wanted. I'm saying more than one. I just gave him one just to see if Trev could actually answer. But I believe she had hundreds of men that she liked on a course of 35.
No, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense logistically. Most women
Darwin, I don't disagree with most of what you're saying. I'm just saying it wasn't a one-word answer.
Hundreds of men that she liked.
I agree that she likely fumbled the bag, but I think she found a frivolous reason not to like him. That's the only different thing that I'm saying. I think she ruined it. I blame her completely for not being married because I feel like she was in a position. I think she was in a position to.
I respect that. That's your opinion. My opinion, She just wasn't suitable for marriage. She wasn't.
Yeah,
suitable.
I mean, she put her career first. I just read about it.
All right. So when you say not suitable for marriage, are you saying not suitable for marriage, or that nobody wants to marry her?
She wasn't suitable for a man to be compelled enough to take her to the altar and marry her and create a legacy with her.
Based on what?
Like y'all too masculine.
Based on the fact that she's not married. And do she have kids?
No.
Based on the fact she's not married with kids.
No. So if
the
she
results, at the end of the day, the results don't lie.
So if somebody is willing to marry her, then she's suitable for marriage.
If somebody's willing to marry her,
yes.
It depends.
That's not a depend.
Wait. If somebody's willing to marry her,
that's about as black and white as it gets. If somebody wants to marry her, is she suitable for marriage? It's a yes or no question.
If she says
yo, you just did the same shit you was holding your head about, bro. What the hell?
But see, the thing is, the reason why I said she wasn't suitable for marriage is because she got to have the characteristics and the traits of being a wife and operating as a helpmate in the relationship.
Can a woman be married and not have all those traits?
Hold on, let me finish. A man can be willing to marry her, and then he can start vetting her so he could actually validate, pulling the trigger on marry her. But it come to a point where he's like, oh, hold on, wait. Oh no, I was willing to marry her, but now I can't carry it out because all of these XYZ.
What are you basing this on, man?
That's hard to say. Vetting.
M. White, you was about to ask a question.
I would listen when I first met my wife.
The access.
When I first met my wife in college, I was willing to marry her from the time I saw her, but I wasn't gonna pull the trigger on it until I actually vetted her out to see if I knew I knew that was the one for me, and I was like, yo, if she meets X, Y, and Z, I'm married this woman. So I had to go and vet her and test her and do all these other things, and then boom.
Wait, so you had to,